You are now watching The Lone Blown. Blown! Yo, what's poppin' YouTube? You're back here at The Lone Blown. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Today we're going to be going over to a deck or archetype that I hold near and dear to my heart. That's Centiskorch VMAX. This Pokemon has a massive amount of HP, works with Welder, and has the G-Max Centinferno attack that continuously builds as the game progresses. You do 40 more damage for each fire energy attached to this Pokemon, and you can grab one from your discard pile. It does have a base damage of 40 damage as well, which makes this an incredibly powerful Pokemon for only 2 energies. Now, there's a lot of different ways to play this deck, but I really like the Pokegear version of this deck the most. I think it makes it the most consistent because you really are trying to push forward with those Welder cards. So let's go over the deck in its entirety to go over some of the strategies, give you a well-rounded understanding of this deck, because I've kind of been known to be playing fire decks. Overall, I've seen the most success in my Pokemon TCG career with fire type decks. And that's not really stopping anytime soon. If you are missing any of the cards for this deck, or if you're just looking to support me as a content creator, go over to PTCGO plug in code ZELASAGE5. You can also read that code right below in the description, along with getting the copy and pastable version of this list. Feel free to check out any of my other sponsors, or if you're looking for any coaching, feel free to hit me up there. Jumping into it, we have Crobat. Crobat here is allowing us to draw some cards. And drawing cards with this deck with Crobat and Dedenne-GX is going to be important because we need to get out our Welder card. Welder is very important. This deck wants to go second because you have Volcanion, so you can use Flare Starter on your second turn of the game to attach 3 fire energies in any way you want. That's why we have ways to get into it, like Switch, bunch of fire energies, a bunch of ways to search out Volcanion. So we can use Flare Starter there. Don't sleep on High Heat Blast on either trying to get into a 2-shot or battering something down before you hit with a large G-Max Centinferno. Centiskorch V is actually playable here because you can use Radiating Heat against Eternatus or ADP to stop them from completing their decks. Those are single energy attachment decks, so Radiating Heat could set them turns behind. And Centiskorch VMAX, you really just want to kind of see what you can do with in the amount of 40, so 40, 80, 120. So it starts at 120 with 2 energies, and then continuously scale it so you get to the numbers of 280, which would be 6 energies, and up higher if you're playing against things like Eternatus. Really just powering up one major Centiskorch VMAX per game is usually the strategy. This deck also has Heatran-GX. Any deck that I feel that has fire energies, like that can build them up, is great because Hopper and GX can do a lot of damage. Don't sleep on a turn 1 Steaming Stomp for the win, or a turn 1 Hopper and GX. You even get energies back with G-Max Centinferno, so getting more energies in play, and then switching into a Heatran can be huge to checkmate your opponent, maybe splitting your energies halfway. So like 4 on a Centiskorch, 4 on a Heatran-GX, depending on how many energies you have in play. Talonflame V is the newcomer to this deck, one of the cards from Vivid Voltage, which I think is pretty hot. You have Fast Flight, which you can use as a consistency crutch, has Free Retreat. It is not weak to fire, it's not weak to water type. It does have a fighting type resistance, and it does have an attack similar to Steaming Stomp, where you can knock something out on the first turn to take a huge lead in the games. Victini V, another great asset to this deck. Don't sleep on Energy Burst as an attack, then get a knockout. There's plenty of games that I've played in recent tournaments that you can just, your opponent goes Zacian, attaches an energy for their turn, goes Intrepid Sword, attaches another energy, and then I can just go Welder knockout game. So I've had that happen in a few online tournaments. Spreading Flame is another way for you to build up energies into play. To get your Centiskorch ready for those numbers you need to hit. Volcanion, we've gone over. Eldegoss, we played 2 copies of Eldegoss because Welder is just a very important card. You can discard one often with Dedenne throughout the game, so you just always want to have access to Eldegoss because supporter cards in this deck are arguably more important than other decks. Dedenne-GX, similar to Crobat, you just want to be drawing cards. Sometimes you do want to have fire energies in your discard pile so you could power up things with Victini V Spreading Flame, or even get things back with G-Max Centinferno. Giratina is a card that I've added in here since the release of Vivid Voltage, and that's just because Lucario Melmetal plays Coating Metal Energy, and there's a lot more special energies in our metagame, so as the metagame grows, with each set release, Giratina seems like it's going to be more and more playable here. Got 4 copies of Pokegear just to search out our Welder and Boss orders. Again, this is a Welder deck and we want to do Welder things. Pokemon Communication. It's the best way. With 19 Pokemon in the deck, we can search out our Stage 1 Pokemon, our Evolution card. So this will allow us to do that. Quick Ball, we have all the rest of our Pokemon are basic. It's a no-brainer. Reset Stamp, you just want to put your opponent's hand into a blender after they knock something out. Maybe they knock out a Centiskorch VMAX and you're like, cool, your hand sucks now. And then you knock them out with a Centiskorch VMAX. A lot of this format currently revolves around you attack with a large attack, then you go Reset Stamp to just throw your opponent's hand in a blender. Switch, we got a lot of retreat costs. We want to get into that Volcanion to power things up. Giant Hearth allows us to search out our fire energies to combo well with Welder. It also allows us to clear clutter out of our hands so we can draw more cards with Crobat. Or maybe we don't need Giratina if our opponent's playing something like Baby Blacephalon with no special energies in our deck. Could be huge, and it bumps other stadiums as well, like Wondrous Labyrinth. Be careful with the Chaotic Swell in play. I wouldn't mind seeing a Marshadow. So if you're playing in a particular metagame without special energies, maybe cut the Giratina for a Marshadow. I could see that being huge. Q-Boss orders to bring up whatever we want because we don't always need Welder, but when we do need Welder, we do have Welder right here. Attaching and accelerating fire energies and drawing cards is never going to be a bad thing. Arguably one of the best supporter cards we have in the game, or we've ever seen in the game. 3 cards is incredibly weak, but attaching 2 fire energies from your hand is so strong, and it just makes so many different fire type decks work. 14 fire seems like the correct amount in this deck. I could see maybe 13 adding a Marshadow, but 14 is really what I've been liking in this deck so far. So without too much blabbering on, feel free to give this video a like, subscribe, thumbs up kind of vibe. I've been putting out a lot of Pokemon content, so I'd really appreciate it. And just really seeing what the channel's about, if there's any deck, or if you have anything that you want to see, or any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments below. But yeah, let's jump into some games, see exactly how it goes. I mean, Centiskorch is a deck that's pretty much discovered at this point. We know what's going on with it, so we're only going to probably do 2 games today. But let's see exactly how those games go. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so we're going to call the coin flip here, and we're going to go for Tails. I'm just feeling it. We did win the coin flip, so we do want to go second, so no to the going first, even though it does sound pretty tempting when they make it seem like, when they put it, do you want to go first? Anytime you ask a question, it's like, yeah. Okay, so let's just vibe out here, see exactly what's going on with our hands. The hand would be broken if we could have a Volcanion start there. But we're just waiting for our opponent to choose an active Pokemon. They have those awesome sleeves. So let's just shuffle our hand back up. You can see we don't necessarily have everything we want in our hand, but we will start with the Victini V. I mean, not the worst start. It's kind of like Volcanion. If we can get enough fire energies in our hand, it's fine. And I feel pretty good about like all the quick balls that we have in our hand that we can go like Crobats, grab some stuff. We're just waiting for our opponent. I don't know if they're having some connection issues or anything like that, but just gotta wait here. It gives us time to think things out. I'm probably gonna get Pokemon Communication this away. Yeah, our opponent's playing some kind of fire type deck as well. And the fact that they put that there means that we can knock them out with Energy Burst potentially. So let's try to go for that. Let's go Pokemon Communication this away. Let's go for a Centiskorch. Let's go for a Crobat. Crobat seems like the most important. Do we have Welders in our deck? We do have 3 copies. We do have 1 prize, an energy prized. We do have some communications prize as well. Interesting prize cards across the board. Let's grab a Scorch. And let's quick ball this away for a Dedenne-GX. So we're kind of like just going to go for the win here. Let's put this down. Let's see what we can draw here if we can get Welder. Nothing really there. It's tough here because I don't want to lose 3 switches, but honestly, like, we just have to go for it at this point. Like, I don't think using Volcanion on our first turn is going to be as great as compared. We already have Victini in the active spot, so we'll probably even just get like 2 energies. It's not going to be that big, but the win condition is so huge. Let's discard another energy there. Thin our deck a little bit more, and let's go Pokegear. You can see we now can just win the game with our attack. So kind of like what I said, don't sleep on energy burst. You just kind of pop off where you want to. We take those. I mean, it's not bad at all. So we're just going to call the coin flip. I'm going to call heads this game, and we lost the coin flip. That's fine. Our opponent doesn't know what they're playing, and naturally we're going second anyways. That would have been a really good starting hand as well. But we're just going to vibe out here. Maybe start with a Volcanion. Not particularly great start. It looks like we're playing against some kind of metal type deck, which I'm okay with. I don't know if they've got more mulligans than us or anything like that, but a welder would be really good, or just a Pokemon in general. Our opponent's starting Lucario Melmetal. Probably just going to grab a Zacian here and attaching an energy. This is normally a very good matchup, but we got to watch out for the Coating Metal energy, and as you can see, our hand is pretty atrocious. The Zamazenta, I mean, I'm totally fine with our Talonflame, Heatran-GX, everything else we got going on here. Just don't get a bunch of energies off Intrepid Sword, please. Part of me wants so bad to just go for this. We're fine to... Let's go for... Yeah, I'm fine with this. No matter what, I'm just going to be discarding my hand anyway, so it doesn't really matter. At this rate, I don't think I'm going to get into the Volcanion. I mean, we don't really have very many options here at all. Yeah, there's really not that much. So we just gotta vibe out here. I don't want to go into an attack yet, so let's just pass. Yeah, let's just go with that. That sounds completely fine if you ask me. Just gotta we gotta really rough kind of go with it. But if we could top deck into a welder, I think we're okay. Power plant's gonna be harsh. Marnie, if anything, is really nice to us. I have no complaints with a Marnie. I don't think our opponent realizes how bad our hand was. I mean, they also don't know how to make it much better for us. I don't know if they're playing the Crushing Hammer version or anything like that. Maybe they'll just go Intrepid Sword again. It's really just like one of those things where we just gotta wait. Okay, so they got the Coating Metal energy. Maybe they'll just go Full Metal Wall, yeah. Ooh. Will we find a way to get Switch? I'm fine with just honestly going Welder here. Like, doesn't seem great, but let's just go for it. It puts us in a position where if they just attack us for 50, we can get an energy and knock them out, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I should have waited a little bit more on it, but you gotta watch out for their, like, second copy of, like, another copy of Coding Metal Energy. It's one of those things, like, a lot of players don't necessarily, like, they say there's a set strategy for, like, every single matchup. They don't ever talk about when you have, like, a garbage hand like this and you have 2 quick balls and then you just make a reactionary move. Like, our opponent's just going to go Mallow Lana here, right? Oh, wow, they're not going to use Mallow Lana. Interesting. I'm totally cool with them getting back Marnie as well. Are they just going to hit for 50 and search it back for an energy? I'm honestly not sure. I just got a vibe here. Oh, Intrepid Sword, got it. That makes a lot more sense. Doing the 50 is not that important. Yeah, I mean, I think we're just losing here. It's just one of those things where that's the only face emote that equals up to what my hand is. A giant Hearth here would be amazing. They're just gonna do that, knock us out here. But at least we'll have access to a Talonflame. A free retreat, right? So let's send up Talonflame. Pokegear here is going to do absolutely nothing for us. There's nothing that we can do. We have no way to get energies out. So let's just go boss. You want to know what? Let's just retreat here into Giratina and let's pass. There's no point of doing anything else this game. Like, we are behind, but we could quickly turn this game around if we could just get past Zation, because none of their other attacks are really drawing more than, they're not doing 220. Like, I'm not worried about 150 damage attack. I'm not worried about 130 damage attack. That part's really rough. Just gotta pass. I mean, we're really looking, we're drawing at straws here. Maybe getting a welder would be really good. Or not a welder, we have access to a welder with Eldegoss. Getting a fire energy might be cute. Getting a giant Hearth would be very good. Wow, speaking about giant Hearth. I'm just going to discard a Quick Ball because Quick Ball does nothing here. Let's grab 2 fire energies. Let's go Eldegoss, drop that down. We do have our welder there, and let's just build up a big attacker. If we get a reset stamp, I'd feel very happy about this. Really, really, really rough draws here. Because they just have the power plant in play again. And you can see we did not do remotely close to enough damage for what we want to. So sometimes you're just going to get absolutely burned by a welder deck, even in the case where we're playing against a very favorable matchup and we do have the Giratina tech. But our opponent did just take a knockout. Maybe they're just not going to have much going on here. Could just retreat into Zation. Maybe they have Switch. We could always top deck another Giant Hearth as well. That'd be huge. Yeah, Switch, bring that under, and then they're going to swing into us for 220 damage again. Which I think is almost like a checkmate to us. I think we've just lost this game at this point. Because maybe if they have an energy or not, yeah, like we'll just go for a Gmax Centinferno here, like see exactly what our opponent has going on. Maybe they have just, I think it's Mallow Lana is their last card. Maybe I don't think so. maybe our best bet is just doing this. Yeah, and we're just really not getting those extra cards. I mean, we'll give our opponent the well played, we'll draw a prize card. It's just not enough here. We just got way too slow, and they're going to knock us out for 3 prize cards with the Zacian V. So, I mean, it totally happens to the best of us. We'll try another game after this. I know I said I'd only do 2 games, but I really want to show you what this Centiskorch deck can and can't do. So this is a game of what it cannot do. Sometimes the deck just crumbles in front of you. You just got to deal with it. That's why it's better in a best 2 out of 3 format instead of a best of 1 format. Okay, so we just lost the coin flip. That's fine. Yeah, we're going to go first. That's not the worst hand to ever go first with. We're just attaching an energy. You can put the Eldegoss away to grab something else. Depends on what our opponent's playing here. But it looks like our opponent might be playing ADP. So if they start with a Zacian and we could just go poke a com into a thing. I mean, I'm not entirely opposed to this. I'm going to just Pokemon Communication away this. Just so we have access to the Centiskorch VMAX. Our hand's weak otherwise, but we'll just we'll go ahead here and pass. I mean, I could have grabbed a lot of things like Crobat or Dedenne-GX. Dedenne-GX might be better here. And the Centiskorch might be a mistake. Just gotta watch out because I don't want to like give up all my resources on the first turn. Don't know what our opponent's playing at all. So, I don't know. I might have just put myself in a position where I dead draw. But like we have a lot of other cards that we can get, like a Quick Ball, Pokemon Communication. Like we have like 10 out of 46 cards. So I feel like I have like a... I mean, there's another 4 Welders, another 4 Pokegears, 8, 20, 18. I feel like I have about a 40% chance of drawing something that's mildly playable next turn, which is why maybe I'm a little bit fine to go with this. The fact that our opponent plays... I mean, I guess they played Dedenne-GX, so it's got to be ADP. Their start isn't anything spectacular either, though. If they're playing Zacian, I feel like I have a little bit more time. And maybe I gut reacted a little too hard off that Pokemon Communication, thinking that they're playing ADP because they can go Mawile. The fact that they play double Guru here looks like they're playing more of a colossal deck than anything else. Obviously, they're not with the Zacian, but it's just kind of an awkward game here. Yeah, really kind of interesting deck. Okay, so they are playing ADP. Crazy. I'm totally cool with Marnie, I guess. Our hand's no longer dead. Maybe. His hands actually seems better. Ooh, that's a cool water energy in our opponent's hands. And they're just going really all in. I don't know if they should have played out the way that they played out by grabbing all those energies. Oh, our opponent could literally just win the game here. If they could just get switch. They've played 2 Metal Saucers this game. If they could just attach another Metal Energy and Crobat, they can win the game. I almost don't even hate that play. I don't know how they got room for Rotom Phone Guru, but maybe that's the best way to play ADP. I'm unsure. Okay. Okay, so they're definitely going for it. I'm shocked. Maybe if we just lose this game. I mean, we got a great hand. We played well. I mean, kind of played well. Had plans. That's what happens to Scorch sometimes. Maybe we should have just benched the second one. Crazy, weird ADP deck. That's what we're doing for Scorch today. I mean, those are the games that we played with Scorch, and that's where we're really going to end it today. I should note one thing about Scorch. Scorch is kind of finding its way out of the metagame right now. It's kind of, it's obviously a very good deck, but it doesn't have a good Pikarom matchup. It doesn't have a good Mewtwo Lightning matchup. It doesn't have a good Baby Blacephalon matchup. It loses to random water decks. It can lose to ADP as ADP kind of improves. It can lose to Luke Metal if you have a bad hand. Centiskorch is kind of just like, it's too in between the road for this matchup. It doesn't really have any polarizing strengths. Its ADP matchup kind of got turned on its head. And it kind of just got lowered as every single deck gains a few new bells and whistles, gaining Leons, things like that, which can make the matchup a little bit more difficult. But really just like Pikarom being well positioned, Lightning Mewtwo being well positioned, kind of really hurts Centiskorch's chances. I mean, I hate to see it, but you saw those games exactly how they went. The Luke Metal matchup, sometimes you're just going to get ending up with those Welder hands. And then even in that ADP one, just losing on our opponent's first turn of the game, and they're choosing for us to go first. So it's just bad beats sometimes with this deck. I wouldn't recommend playing it in a best of 1 tournament. I think it's better to play it in a best 2 out of 3 environment if you do decide to play it. But I honestly think it's better to put this deck at the back. Other decks like Eternatus are just better right now. Crushing Hammer is pretty huge. Not that it matters too much for this deck, but it can really hurt you. I don't know. Centiskorch is not my once amazing deck that I'd pick for every event. I think just chill on this deck for a little bit, waiting for me to come up with another video that's like, Centiskorch is busted right now, until you decide to pull it out. But that's what we got going on for the video today. Not really the most exciting video if you're a Centiskorch fan, but this list is absolutely flames. No pun intended. So if you like the content, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe for more upcoming content, or any of the previous content if you enjoyed any of that. And remember to check out the description to check out any of the sponsors, other links going on there, and the copy and pasteable PTCGO deck. It's actually like almost 3 o'clock in the morning, so I'm going to call it a bit of a wrap here today. But I appreciate everything, everyone, and have yourself a wonderful day. Peace out. Really hope that you enjoyed watching that video. I totally enjoyed making it. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like the video, share the video with everyone that you know, and subscribe to the channel as well. Totally appreciate all the support. We got a lot of cool things happening on the channel, so stay tuned for more. Be sure to check out the social links in the description. Thanks, and have yourself a great one.